What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Veve Investments. I appreciate you tuning in. This past week or so, we actually had Alex unveil who is building the Veveverse, and it's going to be a company called Cavrnus. So today's video is dedicated to that company. Who is Cavrnus? What do they do? And what can they provide? So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see in a future episode. And without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, so when you head over to the Cavrnus website, what you're going to notice is they break down the business into two main sections. So section A is going to be the platform itself, the Cavrnus platform, and then section B is going to be what they refer to as the Cavrnus Metaverse Connector. So the structure of today's video is as follows. We're going to walk through both the points you see on screen, A and B. Then we're going to walk through all the possible applications that the Cavrnus platform provides people like Veve. I'm going to provide video examples of each and every one of those applications we discuss. And then we're going to round the video off with some little details that I noticed in some of the videos that they have in their video gallery. So first and foremost, let's discuss the Cavrnus platform. So what does the Cavrnus platform do? Well, what they do is they enable enterprises, brands, and creators to design and share immersive metaverse experiences. Get this, multi-device, cross-platform publishing is built into the Cavrnus platform. All right, this is something we discuss later on in the episode, so make sure to stay tuned for that. They offer things like built-in voice, video streaming, and screen share, all things that we actually saw in the Veveverse unveil. Again, more on this later on in the episode. They offer a large focus on what they refer to as seamless co-presence, so welcoming engagement and communication with participants that feel like everyone is in the same physical environment. And then they also have a point stated on their website called powerful persistence. And in their words, this allows for more dynamic metaverse experiences that contain a layer of data stored in the historical journal. More on that later on in the episode. Now, another thing they have listed on their website is something called the Cavrnus Creation Toolkit. Now, this is going to be catered a little bit more towards their actual customers, in this case, Veve, but it still gives us investors in Veve an insight into what we can expect in the Veveverse. So the Cavrnus Creation Toolkit combines the core creator elements essential for building interactive metaverse experiences. The four elements being holoscripting, properties, particles, and the journal, all into an integrated and extensible system for building and delivering interactive engagements across all of XR. So the first element on the left-hand side there is going to be holoscripting. I'm not sure if this is the scripting feature itself that Dan was referring to, but they say that you can easily develop and deliver cross-device, cross-platform, interactive experiences. Again, cross-device and cross-platform, something we discuss later on in the episode. That's huge. The second element they discuss is properties, so dynamically make real-time changes, create living metaverse experiences on every level, object to environment. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not 100% sure what that means. It's a pretty vague definition. But moving to the right of that, particles, this is something I'm interested in. Instantly add life to any scene with any of the Cavrnus default custom particles or add your own. Particles, in addition to the word holo, was a word we kept seeing over and over again in Dan's inventory during the Veveverse unveil. They have the word default in this description, which makes me think that some of the things in Dan's inventory pertain to this particle feature. And the last element they discuss is something called a journal. So efficiently load metaverse experiences and join spaces at faster than ever speeds with the Cavrnus journal. So the way that I'm understanding this is very similar to a server for a game. So I can head into a game like Battlefield, for anyone familiar with it, and I can click on multiplayer to play a game, but then I have to find a server that's hosting that game. There will be many interactive experiences that users within inside of the Veveverse create, and the journal, from my understanding, is a way of getting to each and every one of those experiences, right? It lists all the environments or the experiences, you click on it, and then you get teleported or warped to wherever that experience is. Now, these are very general definitions, so that is speculation, but right now that's my understanding of what the journal will do. Now, the second half of their website was dedicated to something called their Metaverse Connector. So in this case, it allows you to instantly and easily connect your application to the metaverse. They talk about their Unreal Engine plugin. So with the click of a button, add the low code, no code plugin to any Unreal Engine project to instantly turn it into a metaverse destination. Now, one thing that I noticed while looking at this website is that they talk a lot about Unreal Engine, but I did not see them mention Unity. Now, we know Unreal Engine and Unity, the two biggest game engines in the world, are both being used to create the Veveverse. But what it looks like to me diving deeper into this business is Cavrnus favors Unreal Engine. Now, using the Metaverse Connector, what it's also going to allow businesses to do is access the Cavrnus platform without added cost to their app, to their development, which of course are all positive things for Veve, or cost to their customers until they decide to use its features, which are enabled by way of subscription. So when they say customers, in this case, they're not talking about Veve, they're talking about Veve's customers. So this is something that I certainly expected, and now we're kind of seeing confirmation in writing here that there can and most likely will be forms of upsells inside of the Veveverse, but I do expect the base platform to be free. All right, so we're over on their website, the ultimate metaverse builder platform. Cavrnus empowers every enterprise, brand, and creator to easily design, build, and share their vision of a destination metaverse on the experience internet with anyone, anywhere, on any device at scale. Scrolling down, this is what it looks like. Of course, I'm not going to read everything to you guys. That's the whole point of this video, is to kind of summarize it. But you can see some of the trusted brands that Cavrnus works with. We're going to have Unity, we have NVIDIA, we have Meta, Lenovo, we have Ready Player Me, lots of businesses here. They have the Cavrnus creation toolkit that we just discussed, but underneath the toolkit, name your devices, Cavrnus has you covered. So talking about, multi-device cross-platform capabilities, you guys are looking at multiple different devices here that Cavrnus is compatible with. So we have Microsoft Windows, we have Apple, right? Desktop, tablet, mobile with AR, we have Android, we have MetaQuest, we have Windows Mixed Reality, we have HP, we have Magic Leap, we have Microsoft HoloLens. I believe actually those are the virtual reality goggles that the US military are training their soldiers to use. We have Chrome, we have Safari, we have Firefox. These are big names, right? And as you guys can see, Cavrnus is interoperable or cross-compatible with each and every one of these names I just listed. So here's an example I'll give to try and put it into perspective for those who don't fully understand what I'm trying to get at here. Think of like an Xbox or a PlayStation. Instead of the Veveverse being the console itself, think of the Veveverse as a game inside of the Xbox store or the PlayStation store, meaning you're not restricted to playing either console, you can play the Veveverse on either console. Now, below the list of compatible devices, we are going to have powerful features. I am not going to cover it in this video, guys, and the reason why is just because I don't have a tech background, and a lot of these features are talking about tech related things, SDK and API pipeline integrations, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and try and pretend like I know all this stuff. I don't. But one thing that I did notice here that I want to point out is looking at the top left, ingest 40 plus 2D and 3D file types. No asset prep necessary for files with 100 plus million polygons or over 1 gigabyte in size. Content is instantly converted to our proprietary .holo file type. So this right here explains why we kept seeing the word holo in Dan's inventory over and over again. Originally, I was speculating the word hologram or holographic, although I'm not going to sit here and say I can confirm that's not the case, because at the end of the day, we still don't fully know. But what I can say is that I have a very strong feeling that the holo word we kept seeing over and over again was just the .holo file type. But for anyone watching who does have a tech background and does want to kind of check out these features yourself, I'll make sure to link the website in the description down below. All right, so now let's head over to the Metaverse Connector. I'm just going to scroll right down here, and what you guys are going to see is applications for scale. So Metaverse experience building. Brands already building content in Unreal Engine can join in real time to collaborate and get perspective in the spatial context of the metaverse. If you are looking for the best solution for interoperable metaverse destinations that scale and shape to your needs, then Cavrnus is pretty much your choice. Next, they talk about game development. So application developers may choose to add holo scripting with the Cavrnus creation toolkit to bring interaction to the next level, transforming the next generation of storytelling for immersive games, physical and digital experiences, interactive world building, and more. There's lots to dissect there, but instead of me just continuing to talk with words on the screen, the video examples I have at the end of the video are going to give a little bit more context into what I just described. Next, they talk about immersive hybrid events. So application developers can use the Cavrnus SDK and powerful journaling system to integrate robust data for digital twin showrooms, or can access the private cloud network for extra security while running training simulations, for example. They talk about styling and design. So for those using Unreal Engine for styling and design, now you can take your work into a living metaverse experience where you can invite other designers, collaborators, or your own clients. You can build your metaverse destination to fit your needs, all with the instant plugin provided by Cavrnus. They talk about virtual production and production planning. So Unreal Engine developers in virtual production workflows can save time on pre-production by connecting the Cavrnus Metaverse Connector. The instant plugin easily connects your studio into a multi-person, co-present, persistent place where you can even integrate data for lighting and more. Now, please keep in mind, guys, that this website is catered to a certain type of individual, and that individual having a bit of a tech background. So the wording for some of these definitions may seem a little complicated, but again, me providing the short clips at the end of the video are to provide more context on definitions like what you see on screen. Now, second to last here, before we head into some applications, we have digital content creation or animation and visual effects. So creators can also benefit from real-time collaboration and dynamic content creation. The power of the Cavrnus platform allows you to create once and publish everywhere, saving time on multi-device, cross-platform content. So this is something that I actually do have experience in with social media management for my clients. It's ideal for my clients to be on more than just one social platform, but instead of me having to go from platform to platform to post and manage their content, I actually use a centralized dashboard that allows me to schedule and post the content to each and every one of those social platforms from one place. So a similar situation here with the Cavrnus platform. It allows you to create and publish content from one place to several platforms. And the last point they have stated here, architecture visualization. So this is actually something you're going to see a lot in the clips at the end of the video. Add a layer of communication for client walkthroughs of interior design, construction, floor plan reviews, and more. Tap into the power of the photorealism of Epic's Unreal Engine for architecture use cases and benefit from the collaboration and customized visualization journey for clients. A car dealership showroom is actually an example of something I'm going to show you guys in this video about how a car dealership can essentially create a one-to-one digital version of their showroom to show potential customers in one-on-one sales consultations. All right, so possible applications, and my gosh, there are many. So I'm going to walk through this very, very quickly, and then I'm going to have a video example for each and every single point listed on screen right now to give you guys a little bit more context. So what's possible with the Cavrnus platform? Immersive design review in VR, community building hangouts. So I guess another, word for networking. Immersive social experiences, internal stand-ups, corporate headquarters. So creating a one-to-one digital model of your physical corporate headquarters in a virtual environment. Virtual gaming parties, interactive operations planning, real-time data control rooms, right? So you think of all the hedge funds on Wall Street with their data rooms with all their screens showing the stock prices. Well, you can do that in a virtual space through Cavrnus. Live event planning, collaborative strategy planning, training protocols and procedures, right? I'm thinking back in high school when I was in like automotive class, right? Learning to take apart and put together an engine. Engaging digital twin experiences, okay? So I have a video on this. It's quite interesting, but connecting physical items in the physical world to virtual items in the virtual space. So you can click a button in a virtual space and it affects something in your physical space or vice versa. Very, very cool. Custom home buying processes, construction walkthroughs, optimized instructions. Actually, now that I think about it, that's the putting together and taking apart an engine. Consultative one-on-one sales sessions, immersive NFT galleries, augmented digital displays, and virtual showroom exhibits. So let me stop rambling here and let's head over to these video examples. All right, so pretty cool, right? If that doesn't open your eyes, I'm not sure what will. But just focusing a little bit more on specific examples like the virtual sales showroom, right? So in collaboration with AWS, Via Interactive, and Epic Games, Cavrnus developed an immersive 3D customer shopping experience for the new Audi A5 convertible. Customers personalize their car with the materials, paint colors, and accessories, and then view their selections under ultra-realistic lighting conditions that produce stunning visuals. I'm using this as an example because I have experience in the car industry. I'm responsible for one of the fastest department turnovers in the history of Nissan Canada, over 700% growth within 10 weeks. And again, I'm using this as an example because I understand how revolutionary something like this is for an industry like the car industry. The car industry, guys, for those who don't know, is an industry that, it absolutely refuses to change. It's the same today as it was 20, 30 years ago. And to this day, it's very, very hard to find a car dealership where you can buy a car start to finish online. Lots of old school methods still used, lots of car dealerships that still rely on weekend sales to keep them afloat. What you're looking at on screen is completely revolutionary. And even just tying this to Veve, right? We have cars obviously on the app already. What we can do in the future in terms of having our own dealership, renting out vehicles, things like that, obviously still a big question mark on it. But this exact example on screen does confirm the possibility of us being able to do this in the future. Now, they do have a video gallery section on their website, and in some of the videos, I noticed stuff like this. Anything look familiar to you guys? Well, it's the same exact menu layout. We're going to see options for a whiteboard, stream board, and user board, all things that were unveiled in the Veveverse video. There's also a video of them opening up inventory. There's a couple things I noticed here. So one, obviously same exact interface, just white as opposed to the black one that Dan had in his video. And if you guys have picked up on it already, there are PNG and JPEG files in this library. So I'm not sure if we're gonna have the option of doing this in the Veveverse. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if we are able to do this, then downloading images off of Google to decorate our home spaces will all be possible, and we won't just be restricted to creating our own 3D models. Another thing I picked up here was the exact same panel board that Dan showed us to kind of give you an idea of who is in your virtual space. So in this particular slide, it looks like they're having some sort of corporate meeting, right? Which, by the way, the resolution on that screen for the Zoom call is fantastic. I feel like I'm looking at my computer screen right now. So, but yeah, another thing I noticed there, and again, another feature that we saw in the Veveverse unveil. All right, so that's going to conclude episode 40 of Veve Investments. I can't believe we've already dropped 40 episodes. Time flies, but I'd be very, very curious to see what you guys are thinking about Cavrnus in the comments section down below. Any thoughts and opinions you guys have towards the business or anything that we discussed in today's video, make sure to comment it down below. But if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment anything you guys want to see in a future episode. And as for episode 41, catch you then.